What is happening? All right. What is happening? Welcome to the Plus Pitch Podcast, your morning pitching podcast from pitcherlist.com. My name is Nick Pollack. Today is April 5th. And yes, we are going to talk about baseball. Luzardo against the Dodgers. I did not expect this to go well. He did really well against the Nationals last time, debuted a new sweeper that I just didn't know if it was really going to stick and be a major influence moving forward. But boy, was I wrong, as Jesus Luzardo destroyed the Dodgers. 7 innings, 0 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Got the win. 12 whiffs in that game. Insane. This is Jesus Luzardo, who in the preseason, I went a little bit back and forth on. At first, I said, all right, he's not on the Marlins anymore. He's on the Phillies. So that should be an early win, probably against the Rockies on the road. Oh, no, he's going against the Nationals. I think I'm still okay with that. But he has to have some changes. The slider isn't very good against righties, allows a lot of home runs on that and a lot of mistakes on it. The changeup, it needs to be thrown more against righties, and then he needs to throw this horizontally exceptional four-seamer, not vert, but actually ride. He needs to throw that into lefties as opposed to righties. That was my solution. And what we got is just a brand new breaking ball, and it's much better than the slider against right-handers. And that's pretty much what we saw here, and that's good. He's still making some mistake pitches with his four-seamer that he got away with here, but really the results speak for itself. 7 innings, right? 0 runs against the Dodgers. You got to hold on to Luzardo. Stop thinking about what I'm thinking about and just start the man for now and hope that he doesn't have those blowups that we saw in the spring of back-to-back home runs, as I sound like Chris Berman. Spencer Schwallenbach had an amazing game. Give him ace, is going to ace, Nick. No, he does not get the AGA label yet. Why? Even though he got that golden goal, 23 whiffs and a 39% CSW in 8 innings of 0 earned runs, 2 hits, and 0 walks and 10 Ks. No, it's because it's the Marlins. Okay, yeah, 1142 whiffs, 11 over 42 on that four-seamer. It wasn't supposed to be a whiff pitch this year, and it's doing much better. He stopped throwing the cutter to lefties and just said, this pitch is cooking. I'm just going to do that. It's gone up 2 inches in vert, still under 16, but at least it's not 13 and a half vert, and that's a cool thing. I hope that Spencer Schwallenbach is just the same guy, but now with a good enough fastball. Like, that would be insane, and I'm not expecting that, but hopefully it comes through. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 6 innings, 0 runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts against the Phillies. Yep, things are really cool there. It's all good. You just keep starting Yamamoto. Tyler Alexander at 5.2 innings of no-hit ball. Not going to happen. Not going to happen again. No, he gets the gold star against the Reds. We do not trust that. He goes to course next. Tyler McGill had an amazing game. All right. It was 95, 17, 18 inches of vert, and not 16 inches of vert, but also wasn't like 96. But the four-seamer was upstairs. The slider that we saw last time was down. And really, those two did the Blake Snell blueprint, right? Of hard up, slow down. The sinker got away with a lot. Like, it had a lot of weak contact. It was just kind of in the zone and strikes. But honestly, at such good extension with Tyler McGill, yes, he has returned. All you need to do is just throw those four-seamers up, and then everything goes off of that. And if it's a sinker in the middle of the plate, that's okay, because they think it's the four-seamer upstairs, right? This is really fun. I hope that Tyler McGill sticks with this. I don't like the fact that it was 52% strikes in the four-seamer, right? And only 59% on the slider. It's why he had 3 walks against the Jays, 5.1 innings, 0 runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, 4 Ks. But it was against the Jays, different opponent, and now he gets the Marlins. You should be really thrilled with that. We are holding on tight. Tyler Mahle went 92 miles per hour, not 93 plus, but it was 5 innings of shutout ball against the Rays, and we're cool with that. He had a somewhat low strike rate on it, 57% on the fastball, but the secondaries finally, last start, he had 62 pitches and didn't get through 2 frames because he had no support. This time, 63% strike rate plus on all of the sliders and the splitters and the cutters that he threw. Just what he needs, right? Hopefully that velocity goes up a bit and we do see better Mahle. I don't think that he is going to be anything to really note this year, just as far as like a 12-teamer league winner, but maybe there's a Holly in there at some point. He's probably going to be like a hipster going back and forth, but this is fine. I don't think you need to hold on to Tyler Mahle for the Cubs next. Shota Imanaga against the Padres, 7.1 innings of 100 run, 4 hits, 0 walks, and 4 Ks. 10 over 55 whiffs on the four-seamer is really cool. I don't really see that much. Last year, he had a sub 10% swing strike rate to both lefties and righties with that four-seamer. Thing is, the splitter for Imanaga, 0 for 22 whiffs on that splitter, which is so weird. It just flip-flopped for one game. All right, fine. location, though, with that four-seamer to right-handers. Oh, so beautiful upstairs. Seth Lugo did exactly what you wanted him to do. 6 innings and 1 earned run ball get you the win. 6 base runners, 2 strikeouts. Yeah, you want more strikeouts, and stop. Just be happy about this. Also, his command was kind of weird. It was donut command. That is where it's in the middle of the zone or it's way outside of the zone looking into the windows of the strike zone. Strange, and I don't expect that to stick either. Jack Flaherty did really good things against the White Sox. Everything's cool there. Max Fried had a good start against the Pirates, but honestly, he's still kind of working to being his best self. It was 5.2 innings, 1 earned run. Oh, man, that's a Philly. 5.2 innings, don't get the quality start. 6 hits, 1 walk, and 6 Ks. Obviously, you have 7 base runners and about 6, so it's like a 120 whip or so. Yeah, you don't have a 117, but 5.2 innings. And you have the changeup that's still lagging behind. It's a 44% strike rate. Come on, I need that changeup back. I remember it being so good for you. We need it. But the four-seamer was at 94, which is good, and 41% usage. Really, he just really steered the train with that, and that's cool. He gets the Tigers next. I like this, and we're all good. Ryan Feltner had to pitch in the freezing weather of Colorado. And I mean freezing because it was snowing on the field against the Athletics. 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 8 hits, 1 walk, 4 Ks. Commendable effort. I got to say, Ryan Feltner, like, yes, you had 2 ticks of a drop in velocity, because it was freezing. I mean, same thing with Osvaldo Bido, who matched him. 5 innings and 2 earned runs, 8 base runners, 5 Ks. Like, props to you guys. Maybe the snow is affecting the hitters more. You obviously should just throw this game away for both of them, right? There's nothing that is actually normal about throwing in 30-degree weather with flurries of snow in your face. Like, come on. Randy Vasquez also survived for 4.2 innings of 200 runs, 2 hits, 5 walks, and 2 Ks. You know this isn't real. I mean, it's against the Cubs. You don't want to do that. And Dean Kramer, 4.1 innings of 200 runs, 8 hits, 0 walks, and just 1 strikeout. How am I supposed to butter my bread with this? It's so weird. He has these games of such promise, and then it's 5 whiffs on 88 pitches the next. He's a hipster of 15-teamers. I would not touch this in 12-teamers. All right. We have Gavin Williams and Max Meyer, and oh no, something to talk about with Kevin Gausman. We're going to talk about all of that after this break. Gavin Williams, 3 innings of 200 runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, 5 Ks. You want to know why? Because he's throwing 97. That's great. And, gosh, he just is not throwing strikes in the fastball, and there's no cutter. He actually has a sweeper now. That's not the slider. I mean, it's the same pitch. They just changed classification. You're going to see that and just be aware. All of a sudden, sweeper, it's the slider that he's been throwing. Okay. It's not a big sweeper or anything. It's a borderline slider versus sweeper, but it had 70% strikes. It was featured only to right-handers against left-handers. It was only 4-seamer save for 1 curveball. Gavin Williams, like, come on. Like, let's get going. You gotta get to your final form already. Okay. You're going to keep going with Gavin Williams, but like, let's go, buddy. Max Meyer against Atlanta gave us a very, very poor quality start of 10 base runners and 300 runs in 6 innings, but got you 8 strikeouts. The slider is still the leader pitch. It's not 91.8, it's 89.7. So we're down 2 more ticks, but it's not 88 that we saw last year, right? We're still happy with this. There is a sweeper against right-handers. He needs to get it outside a little bit more. He's not quite feeling that. There is a changeup against lefties that he's still kind of figuring out as well. The 4-seam was fine at 95 miles per hour. That's cool. The slider is really the main pitch, and I'm just hoping that the secondaries get just a little better, and that includes the 4-seamer and sinker. So I'm going to keep going with Max Meyer, and I hope that the slider stays where it is and everything else gets a little bit better, but it could be worse instead. We hope that it's not going to be that latter. You get Kevin Gausman against the Mets, the team that Max Meyer is facing next week. 5.1 innings of 300 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, 0 strikeouts, 15 whiffs, 17% CSW, 87 pitches. How do you go 5.1 innings with 0 strikeouts? Well, you don't have any CSW. Everyone just swings and gets into outs, right? Well, 1 for 25 whiffs on the splitter and a 40% strike rate for Kevin Gausman. What? You can't believe this anymore. You just cannot go after Kevin Gausman. I'm sorry. You got to drop him in a 12-teamer. 15-teamer, fine. But like 12-teamers, you are not getting what you want out of this. Nick Martinez, 4.2 innings, 300 runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Changeup was not on point, and his cutter wasn't lining the edges as we normally see. Sinker only had a 42% strike rate. Weird game for Nick Martinez. I do not think this means that we should take him off our teams. San Francisco is next. I think this is more this is more of an anomaly, while Kevin Gausman's things that we've been seeing. Jonathan Cannon, 3.2 innings of 300 runs. It was all threes, really. 3 runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, 3 Ks. Don't go after Jonathan Cannon. Luis F. Castillo, not Luis Dog Castillo, because he's got that dog in him, the main one. No, it's Luis F. Castillo, the other guy that they called up in the Mariners. I know there's 2 of them. It's so confusing. I'm just going to call him Mr. F. And Mr. Refshin. No, I'm just joking here. 3 innings of 300 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 2 Ks. The only reason you know him is because of his name, and you shouldn't know him for your fantasy teams. Just make sure you pick up the right one, guys, and start the right one. Justin Verlander versus the Mariners on the other side. 2-point winnings of 300 runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 Ks. Not his best command, but you have 95 on the four-seamer, probably up because he usually saves the velocity and decided to just go after because he was laboring. And then the slider was at 88, 89, I should say. That's great. 88, 89 sliders from Verlander, cool. It's just the command was a little bit off. Not one of those games. I think, honestly, Verlander's a pretty good Toby, especially in 15-teamers. Quality start leagues, I think, actually, I know it seems weird, but this seems like the off game, and he should be generally very good. Brandon Pfaadt's doing something very new against the Nationals. Got the win, 6 innings, 400 runs, 6 hits, 0 walks, and 4 Ks. But guess what? Last start, it was 3 for 9 whiffs on the curveball. This was 5 for 19 whiffs on that curveball. Oh, no, this is all against the lefties. We've been looking for the solution for Brandon Pfaadt against lefties, and it's the curveball. And wait, 30% changeups against lefties? 5 for 23 whiffs? That is, I'm actually into Brandon Pfaadt now. He threw only 10 sweepers. Sure, it was 41% usage against righties because they faced few righties, but man, I know the forward runs, sure, whatever, but this is the best version of Pfaadt. I'm excited. I'm actually excited. And if guys are just looking at the bottom line of like another 4-run start or whatever, like you want to pick up Brandon Pfaadt. Crazy. Jake Irvin isn't looking great, and maybe at some point he's going to be better. Zach Littell, 0 for 29 slider whiffs is hilarious. 500 runs. He had 1 bad inning against the Rangers of 7 innings. Fine. We don't touch him anyway. Jose Soriano actually did a really cool thing. It's 9 strikeouts, by the way. 5 hits, 3 walks, 500 runs, 5.1 innings. He essentially allowed 2 home runs to Jose Ramirez. He had 7 for 14 whiffs against right-handers with his slider, and he saved his curve only for lefties. That's legit. That really is legit. He also threw 12 splitters against lefties. This was a sinker curveball guy, really, and we didn't really expect any sort of development. That splitter, not very good, 3 for 12 whiffs, but 41% strikes, so not consistent at all. What do you know, a splitter? But Jose Soriano's pretty cool. You have Walker Buehler against the Cardinals, got the win, 5 innings, 500 runs, 7 hits, 1 walk, and 4 Ks. Yeah, you should have dropped them already. If you didn't, you should drop Walker Buehler. I'm so sorry, but I just feel like it's not worth it in 12-teamers. He's throwing 93, 94. He doesn't really have a good game plan. It's just not it. Eric Fedde against the Red Sox. Yeah, it's in Fenway. You don't trust a guy like Eric Fedde there. And same with Mitch Kelly against the Yankees, 3.2 innings, 700 runs. Oh boy. I mean, yeah, come on. You don't really want those guys in your 12-teamers. All right, that is it for today. Thank you all so much for supporting what we do. And I hope to see many of you in about 20 minutes at the Commissioner for the Pitcher List meetup in New York City. It's in Park Slope. The Commissioner will be there from 3 p.m. to about 6 or 7 p.m. As long as people are around, we will be there. But looking forward to seeing all of you, and it should be a good time. So come on by to the Commissioner. We should be outside in that like on the street side of it. And I'll see you guys there. But that is it for today. So my name is Nick Pollack, and may your BABIPs be low and your strikeouts high.